So today I'm here with Cosmic, and we are going to be reacting to the history of Super Mario 64's BLJ.
Some of these glitches that were found early 2000s or so long ago have really interesting beginning histories. I'm excited to hear that.
The BLJ is by far the most infamous glitch in the game, and has allowed players to push the game beyond its intended limit. And over the years, these speedrunners have continued to apply their knowledge of the BLJ.
That thing is so impressive just seeing that going through the video. I'm assuming that one's a TAS only, but...
Yeah, this game's regarded as one of the best speedrunning games, has amazing movement. There's so much more on top of what they can do in a TAS, and the BLJ is the perfect example.
But before we begin, I noticed only a very small percentage of my audience is actually subscribed.
Similar to the NRG speedrunning channel. By the way, go check out Lunatic J as well. He will, of course, be in the description. He was the one who made this video, allowed us to react to it, so we really appreciate it.
The year is 2000. Super Mario 64 had been out for 4 years, and everyone assumed that you needed 70 stars to reach the end of the game. At the very end of the game, the 70-star door will open no matter how many stars you have. However, the game still prevents you from reaching the end of the game via the endless stairs. The game will teleport Mario back down the stairs, blocking access to the final Bowser level until 70 stars are collected.
The immersion ruined when he resets back.
Yeah, I actually never knew that was how that worked.
It's crazy how fluid they got it to look, because you can't notice. I don't know how humans would skip 70 stars if you couldn't walk through that door.
I mean, I guess we'll see if this is how it happened, but what I'm guessing is because they saw there was the endless staircase, they were like, maybe we can get the speed up.
In the November 2000 issue of Club Nintendo, two Mexican brothers, Jose Angel and Dante Ivan Ruiz Villarreal, would be the first people to document the BLJ. You would head to the endless staircase from the 3rd floor immediately after unlocking the 50-star door. From here, the player would walk up the stairs, position the camera so it faces up the stairs, long jump towards the camera, and then hold back while spamming the long jump input. Mario will have built up enough speed to completely skip the teleport trigger and make it to the top of the stairs without 70 stars.
Was that an official Nintendo magazine? Because I don't think Nintendo would be too keen on sharing this with their games nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because even the later Japanese release of this game, they patched it. Shoutouts to Mexican glitch finders, dude. The two oldest glitches I know of are found by Mexican people. This and Infinite Sword glitch in Ocarina of Time.
They really saving the entire community.
They were legends back then, dude.
Unfortunately, the article was never widespread around this time. It wouldn't be until 3 years later until the BLJ was rediscovered. GameFAQs user Gara2000 would post on the Mario 64 forum stating their friends showed him how to beat the game without needing 70 stars. No one on the thread initially believed Gara, as they were unable to replicate the glitch until a couple days later, when Gara would post the first documented video proof of the BLJ. In just a little under 2 weeks, people began implementing the same BLJ technique on the staircase before the 50-star door in order to completely skip it, bringing the minimum star requirement down to 31. On May 10th, 2004, GameFAQs user Dom Dunk found a way to skip the 30-star door in the basement using Mips the Rabbit to clip through it, bringing down the minimum star requirement to 16.
I mean, once you knew you could skip that door, it was probably just opening up an entire hole where it's like, okay, what about this one?
That happens a ton in speedrunning, where one trick, everyone gets excited and looks, and suddenly the whole game is blown open.
Especially because, this was happening in a quick succession, too. It was the very next week, this happened.
Yeah, exactly.
On TAS videos, people would discuss potential new strategies and time saves in the forums, and apply their knowledge to create tool-assisted speedruns, runs that were created on emulators, frame by frame, with the goal of producing theoretical perfect runs. They discovered that the BLJ can be performed up steep slopes, stairs, rising elevators, and low ceilings that were commonly mistaken as invisible walls.
I wonder how much passing had to do with that, because nowadays, really top-level players, they can do a lot of those things. Back then, it was probably considered a TAS-only glitch.
And on October 14th, 2006, a breakthrough would be made. Glitch hunter Mr. Robert Z would document 3 new glitches found in the castle lobby, the most notable one being a potential way to skip the 8-star door leading to the first Bowser level. Inside this pillar is a low ceiling where a BLJ could be performed. Mario can then be navigated up the stairs and through the door using precise movement thought to be TAS only at the time.
It's such a good story of how, it all perfectly happened together to be that way. I wonder if there are, more ways of doing it too that, because we have this better way, you don't really hear about. but I assume there's probably even more ways you can get through that door that just aren't as well known.
There's actually like 6 or something ways to like build up infinite speed in this game, and then like most of them just end up being used in the task. Like the task can beat the game with 1 star with no BLJs. With like building up speed with wall kicks for like hours or not, sorry, not hours, for minutes.
And this is when discussion about beating the game with only 1 star or no stars at all began. There stood only one more roadblock to accomplishing this task: skipping the 30-star door without MIPS. Not only had AKA discovered a new BLJ location, but also a brand new type of BLJ, one that would allow for the 30-star door skip without MIPS, the side BLJ, or an SBLJ for short. Because Mario snaps back vertically between the 2 steps, it allows for enough negative speed to be built up in order to skip the door.
You don't see one that goes, just straight in there very often.
Just like you said earlier, we're so lucky it all just lined up this way, because that easily could have just not been possible, and then what would we have done?
How did AKA and Swordless Link manage to skip from 1 star to 0 stars in just under 4 months? Both testers had a better understanding of how the SBLJ worked. The SBLJ was used in the lobby and after the first Bowser stage in order to navigate the castle better, and a more precise SBLJ was used to skip both the 30-star door and Dire Dire Docks.
It's like in a lot of games, it seems like, it becomes task only. You soon run out of the time saves. So you really have to like dig deep into finding, okay, which one of these aren't actually task only.
The Japanese helped progress Super Mario 64 speedruns at an unbelievable rate, and their dominance over 0, 1, and 16 star is also a major reason why Mario 64s, to this day, prefer to run on the original N64 version as opposed to the seemingly faster Wii Virtual Console re-release. You see, the BLJ had been patched in a 1997 re-release of Mario 64, known as the Shindu version.
The same one that 3D All-Stars is on, so it's like the BLJ is patched, even though, it kinda isn't.
Yeah, it was really funny when they released that version, and everyone's like, oh, I can't believe Nintendo patched out BLJ for this 3D All-Stars, and it's like, we already knew it was. They patched it in like 1997.
I wonder if there will become a day where, eventually N64s are going to become harder and harder to get, where you kind of have to use a virtual console or some other way of getting it. If only Nintendo just decided to make their games and things more readily available, like Mario 3D All-Stars, which isn't even on the store anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if you can buy Mario 64 right now anywhere.
For the longest time, these locked doors were thought to be impossible to skip, and for the door leading upstairs, that will always remain the case. The basement door is a different story, since you can enter it from the castle moat, but only when the water is drained from the other side, which you need a key from Bowser to reach anyways. This meant that beating the game while skipping the basement key would be the holy grail of Mario 64, as it seemed like it would never happen. That is, until July 4th, 2015, when the method to enter the moat door early...
Until this happened.
Yeah, this was never going to happen, until it did.
And it involved the use of parallel universes.
One thing I do know about this, the spot that they have to fly to next to the door is like, pixels big or whatever, and you're traveling distances that are like massive compared to the game's size. The only way this is even possible is by like having some perfectly specific camera angle, and like mid-flight you like adjust it. It's insane. I don't know all the details, but it's way crazier than you even think.
The BLJ on top of the castle, Tyler grabbed a wing cap, performed a pause-buffered slope BLJ in order to reach hyperspeed, conserved the hyperspeed by flying with the wing cap, and flew into the vanish cap stage before the water was drained. From here, Mario performs an elevator BLJ to exit the level out of bounds, storing the hyperspeed by swimming to this point, where leaving the water allows Mario to navigate parallel universes, which are invisible copies of the map repeated indefinitely along a grid far out of bounds. By navigating the parallel universes, Mario can return to the original map in front of the moat door and can open it before he is put back into a swimming state that prevents him from opening the door. This was a huge breakthrough, but it still required 10 stars in order to unlock the wing cap in order to skip the key, and was therefore slower than beating the game with just 0 stars.
That's super crazy. Like, you come up with that entire setup and then you're like, it's slower.
I knew like a lot of the history of about the past 10 years, but this went 10 years even before that, so that was really cool to learn that stuff.
This was, I think, a year ago this got posted, so I wonder if there's even more that's happened since then.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that video, and if you're looking for another one to watch, that one right there, click it.